Welcome to another episode of True Spoken, a special episode tonight because we're going to dedicate it to a really cool speech that Sheriff Richard K. Jones, our Butler County Sheriff, gave right here at Big Bulls at our Freedom Rally tonight on August 23rd. This is True Spoken. It's brought to you by the Butler County Republican Party, True Spoken Productions. I'm Joe Statzer, the Executive Director of the Butler County Republican Party, where we do many episodes interviewing Senate candidates, gubernatorial candidates, and a lot of our local office holders, so you get to know more people that are our leaders, that are the people that you're voting for. And I think that's an exciting idea. So just a moment, we're going to have Sheriff Jones. If you've ever heard Sheriff Jones speak before, you know he's inspiring, he's uplifting, he's also a rah-rah guy. He'll get you going. He's a very popular guy. I often kid him that he's a rock star in Butler County, but everywhere he goes, people want to get their picture taken with him. So stay tuned for a really rousing speech about freedom, because we need to hear it from our own Sheriff Richard K. Jones.
I met some people in the medical field that have lost their jobs due to these lockdowns. They won't take the vaccine. That's their choice. They've lost their jobs. Now, I told them I would bring that up. No one that's worked their whole lives to go to school, get the training you can, and then some bureaucrat goes ahead and tells you if you don't get the shot, you can't work. Is that what you want? No. Is that what you want? No. Is that a free America or what? No. I didn't think so. Now, Justice Kennedy over here. Let me tell you a little story. She's got to win that race in Ohio. Pat DeWine's running against her. You don't want him in there. You want Justice Kennedy in there. Justice Kennedy was a cop for 10 years. She's conservative. She thinks like we do. We can't do it without justices. The Chief Justice in Ohio from Butler County, Justice Kennedy. Let's be I was pulling my phone up today, doing a little screening. And first, before I go too far, I want to apologize if I'm going to offend anybody. It looks like a sensitive group out here. Kind of thin skin. I'm scanning my phone, and here's this goof that was in charge of the CIA, a 4-star general. And you know what he retweeted? Did you see it? He retweeted first the Taliban, and then underneath it, just like the Taliban, Trump supporters. 4-star general. You know, I used to be afraid of generals when I was an enlisted man, but now I know they're not the smartest people in the world. Abraham Lincoln fired 5 generals during the Civil War. 5 generals. Listen, these generals, they get to the top, they work their way to the top. What we need in the generals' ranks are real generals. We need people that are like 1-star generals, 2-star generals, fighting generals. The ones we got right now, that Miley or what his name is, that should embarrass every one of us. Let's hear it. Boo! We need 2-star generals, 1-star generals, colonels. We don't need 4-star generals that have become so political. They forget once they come. They don't stand for anything, they fall for everything. We have soldiers that will fight, but they got to be allowed to fight. If you don't think they can fight, how many veterans do I have in this crowd? Yeah, we can fight. We're old, but we can still fight. We were still sworn in an allegiance to this country. We were never, when we left, we never took an unallegiance, so we're still there. Now, I can drive a truck, but I might have to pee a lot. Those soldiers that are in the back might say, "What's Jones doing? Well, he's got to pee again, you know." Listen, but I can still drive a truck. If you look at what's going on in our country today, if you look at Afghanistan, and then we've got all these people, these leaders of our country talking about Trump supporters are like the Taliban of the United States. Americans have fought this election. Didn't go the way we wanted it, but we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back sooner than you think. Hey, this time's going to go fast. We're going to take the House back. And we're going to get Pelosi a pink slip. Hey, a pink slip. We're going to fire her and send her back where she comes from. California, great place to visit. I've been there. And when I go, I've been told, don't talk to anybody. And it's a beauty. The weather's good. But I can't talk to anybody because they probably don't like me much. Now, they got lots of windmills. I like windmills in California. Hey, then you've got Schumer up dancing as we've got hostages in Afghanistan. Him and Pelosi dancing with the movie stars and the elite, the rich elite. We got people scared to death now. They're trying to make it to the airport. People are spitting on them. They're fighting them. I believe we probably have some that are no longer with us. And I believe our government is holding that away from us. They don't want us to know. They look at us as just peasants. Stupid peasants. We don't deserve anything. All of us. Listen, we got to fight for our country. We got to stand up. We got to get local people elected. We got to take our border back. Our border is totally lost. We got to shut it down. They're taking people with COVID and bringing them right into our country and right into the hotels in your community. They're putting them in. No test. They're just putting them in. They're putting them in classrooms. No shots. They're just putting them in the classrooms. Is that the America we want? They murdered people. They killed people. We don't even know who's coming across the border. Do you think there's any terrorists in that group? Yes, there is. These people that are coming in from Afghanistan, do you think they vetted them very well? No, they've not vetted them. I've been to the border twice. It's a shambles. It's a total shambles. And then when you have the President of the United States getting on stage, this is Biden, look. I'll do another look. Did you see the video where he got lost on the White House lawn? Look. The Secret Service is saying, this way, Mr. President. That's our leader. Then he gets up and he tries to talk and he makes words up. It's like he's talking in tongues. He don't know. And then he don't take any questions. He don't take any questions. That's because he don't know how to answer those questions. And when you look at the two generals on TV, they were asking them questions. They were looking at each other like, I don't know. What did he say? I don't know. That's the people that are leading our country. Now the vice president, oh, she's a great lady, isn't she? Kamala Harris, what a lady. When she was running for president, she got like 2 votes. Her husband and maybe her son, I don't know if her son voted for her or not. She's second in command. So what do you think? Second in command. She's in Vietnam now. She's trying to get away from this. You know why she's trying to get away? In case she becomes the President of the United States. She don't want any of that on her, believe me. Do we want Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States? Do we want Biden as our President of the United States? Do we want Trump back as President of the United States? Trump back as the President of the United States. Hey, Trump. Get up. I can't hear you. Is coming back. We gotta fight for it. Our ancestors, we were here for that. They're rolling over in their graves right now. We've got veterans, we've got military people that are locked in Afghanistan. And then what the Taliban said today, they're If we leave and we go past our deadline, too bad. We're not going to let you do it. Some flea-bitten punks over in Afghanistan riding camels with our guns are going to tell us what to do. Well, guess Biden will probably do that. He's scared of them. He's fearful of them. Trump wasn't afraid of them. He told them he'd blow them up, and he meant that. We never had an American soldier killed in 18 months. 18 months. Who was the best president in our lifetime? Who was the best president in our lifetime? Okay. And our vice president, Pence, not a bad guy. Not a bad guy. Hey, he carried his water for him. Opened the door for him. That ain't a bad guy. He never brought any disgrace on the White House. He's a Hoosier, but not a real tough guy. But they weren't lining up to be with our president. Have you heard anything from the movie stars? Have you heard anything from Cher? Have you heard anything from our favorite movie star, Jane Fonda? All my Vietnam veterans. Boo, boo. Look, we got these movie stars. They've all they've ghosted. You've not heard a word from them. They've not said anything about people falling off planes, trying to get to America. I hope to God that we get these people, our soldiers, and the people that fought for us and defended us out of that miserable country. And it is miserable. Make no mistake about it. Miserable. My son was in Afghanistan. And when he was there, he was an interpreter. And he was an interrogator. He sent me a picture one day. He had a man dress on and a turban. And I said, well, what kind of army is that? And he said, well, I'd have to kill you if I told you what kind it was. So, and he told me, that's the great spirit of our country. And I'm so proud to be your sheriff. And I'm so proud to fight for you. And I want you to know, I fired ICE. And you wondered, ICE is the Immigration and Customs. You know the reason I fired them? They were going to fire me, so I fired them first. Hey, pretty simple. It's almost like if somebody farts and you point the finger over at them, no matter if it wasn't them, everybody thinks they farted. Pretty accurate, isn't it? Say, hey, that guy over there farted. Then nobody cares after that point. So I figured they're going to fire me, and they want to make a big press deal out of it. So I got up one morning and said, I'm going to fire them. Sent them a notice, gave them 24 hours. Listen, I took care of deportation. I had people assigned. I had it all. And I gave it up because, again, they were requiring so much from me, and they wanted me to say no, and say no, and say no. And I did. I fired them. And they can't fire me now. They were firing other sheriffs that said, you can't keep our prisoners. But I do. And the marshals bring them in. So they come in on the other side. I get sued a lot, but I got good lawyers. One lawyer's been suing me for 40 years. I don't like him much. Matter of fact, I don't like him at all. But I take it. I take it for you. They sue me personally. And I fight for you. I don't have anything written down what I'm going to speak about tonight. I come up here and do it from the heart. It's pretty simple. I moved through the crowd and shook hands and had pictures made. Look, and my job is to get the crowd ginned up. And I think I've done that job tonight. Did I get you ginned up? Hey, is this the best band in the world? Hey, they like the sheriff. They think he's a pretty cool guy. But they were a little jealous because I was getting my pictures made with all these women here. Not so much with their husbands, but with the women. And they were up here working and sweating and playing music, and I'm just getting hugs and pictures made. It's not bad sometimes. I want to tell you how proud I am to be your sheriff. 5 terms, the longest sitting sheriff in Butler County since 1953. That's a long time. I never forget where I come from, over here in north end of Hamilton on Vine Street. You've never lived till you've had your utilities cut off, your phone cut off. You've not lived till you learn how to flush a toilet. Most people think a toilet flushes with electricity. We learned to flush a toilet when they shut the electric off and the water off. You go down to a hot water tank. You get a bucket of water, you pour it in the toilet, boom, it flushes. Only a poor guy could tell you that. Only a poor guy. I've ate so much Spam in my lifetime. My mom said she'd never eat it again. She said during World War II, she ate Spam everywhere you could eat it. Every place, every way, that was all you could get. My whole family are cops, been in the military. I've got people that in my family, it's been prisoners of war, and we go back all the way to the American Revolution. So we have fought for this country. I fight for you every single day. And my job is, and I call people out. Other politicians, and they forget where they come from, I call them out. If they don't stand up and they're wishy-washy, I call them out. I'll tell you. If you don't see me with them, stand with them, ask him, why isn't the sheriff with me? Watch him squirm around. Sound like Biden. That's because I only endorse and support good people. And I mean it, good people. We're pretty fortunate in Butler County. We have good office holders. I don't get along with all of them, but I try hard. So pray for me. George, don't you pray for me. Everybody else over here, I'm messing with George. And the rule is I don't get up and talk about other Republicans. I won't mention Portman's name at all. Is he the worst senator you ever have seen in your life? Let's give a round of boos for Rob Portman. Hey, listen. He was never with Trump. He was never with any of us. He's a blue blood, forgot where he come from. He's with Biden. You see him at the White House. Now, Steve Chabot's a nice guy. He's got nice hair. He's sensitive about his hair. That's why he combs it from the back of his head all the way around to the other side. Now, if he was here in the crowd, he'd sit there and he wouldn't like me very much because I talk about him. Because you know what he's done in the House? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. The big O. But he's got nice hair. But we're going to get some good people coming up soon. These state house races, watch them. When you see me supporting the state house people, support those people. I'm not telling you who to vote for. If you see me not supporting them, no picture with them, there's a reason for that. I won't stand with them if they fall for everything. I can judge somebody by looking in their eyes and shaking their hand. And I've done that all night tonight. And I never saw one Taliban in this crowd. Not one. I think I've got you fired up enough for our next speaker. Wouldn't you like to hate to follow me? Hey, have I got you fired up enough? Now, before I go, who's the best sheriff in the world? Let's hear it. John.